Shemai friendy hi, and welcome back to my channel. My name is CaitlinAnwyn for anyone who's new here, and let's get back into Planet Zoo. And today we are doing the grey seal habitat. From last week's video, Blue Moonwolf suggested that I build a grey seal habitat next, and here it is. I hope you enjoy it. Grey seals actually live in the UK, where I live. And I thought it would be really fun to do a UK beach for the grey seals to live in for their habitat. So what I'm doing now is sort of messing around with some terrain to sort of make it look like the sea. And I kind of wanted it to be like a rocky cave-like bottom, and to have like that slope as you walk into the sea. It sort of gets deeper and deeper, doesn't it? And then it goes off into like a shelf where it gets really deep. And where I placed this, it was just kind of awkward because it was never in direct sunlight. There was always a shadow somewhere, and that made it kind of harder to build in there. I should have just moved it over when I realised I couldn't get any sun in there, but I persevered because it's harder for the guests to get around, really, because everything's under a shelter. I didn't want the guests just walking forever. I might try and figure out a transport system too, but I have absolutely no idea how to do that. The transport system in this game is like the trickiest part for me. I've never been able to master it. I've tried in career mode too. I had to do it for some of the tasks and I'm useless. I usually just make it auto complete because I just don't understand. This is when I start trying to figure out the underground tunnel. I learned from my mistakes from the last habitat I did for the king penguins, and I wanted to make the path slightly wider. It was a little trickier because obviously I needed to fit in more space. So this took a little bit of work. Deleting and going back in and then trying again to try and get it at the right angle, because I didn't want this one to be straight across. That's not how the habitat kind of works. I needed it to go down in a sort of straight line and then at a 90-degree angle and go across the habitat instead of straight through it. I wanted it to kind of go whoop and then that way. I can't explain it, at least it's there, but I just couldn't get it to work. Or I did get the path to go under the water, but I wasn't particularly happy with the depth the path was going into the ground. I flattened it all out, which really helps having a flat surface at the bottom. If you ever actually want to do these underground tunnels, because they are fun for all of these aquatic animals, they're really fun to put in, especially seeing the guests sort of looking at the animals swimming under the water like above their heads. It's really cool. But if you ever do want to do that, I would recommend watching some step-by-step tutorials and not just watching like me speeding through this, because it's really fiddly. And I have kind of broken the map a couple of times by clicking back. I ended up, I think, underneath the map. It was just white everywhere. I panic saved. I was like, oh no. So clicking undo when you're under the water like this and kind of glitching the path is not a good idea. So if you're a subscriber, you may know that I usually post every Wednesday and Saturday. And if you're not and you're enjoying the videos, I would really appreciate it if you did subscribe. I normally don't say that in the middle, but I thought I may as well because I was mentioning it. But I didn't actually post Wednesday this week because this has nothing to do with Planet Zoo. Planet Zoo is fine. But yeah, if you were wondering where I was on Wednesday, that's just like a quick little thing. I can't play The Sims at the moment. But I can play Planet Zoo! Yay! I'm really struggling with The Sims at the moment, but I'm so happy I can still play Planet Zoo because this is just so relaxing for me to do. Like, it's kind of tricky because I have to really think about quite a few different things, but I've never really focused so much on building in Planet Zoo. I've always just played Korea and the career mode and the time scenarios, and building and being this creative has really relaxed me, and I have really enjoyed doing this series. Like, I want to carry on and do lots of different styled zoos like this. I have one idea which I'm going to keep a surprise for when we've completed this. Like, we're only really just under halfway through this zoo, and I'm already thinking of other things I can do and other zoos I want to build, because this has just been so fun and so relaxing, especially because I've been feeling super anxious about trying to sort out things recording wise for The Sims. That hasn't really been working all that well for me, and I've been super duper stressed trying to sort out my PC. I don't know why I put this sort of expectation on myself. Plumbella said something on her haunted house speed build video, I think. She's a Sims YouTuber if you've just on Planet Zoo, but she was saying that she puts expectations on herself for her channel for like a neurotypical person, and it just sort of dawned on me that I kind of put higher expectations on myself. I have an anxiety disorder, and I kind of always put the expectation on myself that I should be completing things and fixing the PC when it's slightly off what it should be running like. And just because I play games on YouTube doesn't mean that I should be able to fix a PC, but I just like sorting things out myself. I think it's just part of my personality too. I don't know. I'm hoping that sort of resonates with someone else, because it really resonated with me when Jessie mentioned something like that. Like, it just made me think a bit, and I just wanted to mention it myself, because I feel like if I don't say it here, I'm just going to continue to be like, no, I must be able to be good at everything. And it's just silly, because you just don't put that expectation on anyone else. You just sort of put it on yourself. So now that the path is at a suitable height and my terrain is all sorted, and I've also built a different kind of glass tunnel than the last one. Because the path is wider, I had to use 2 separate glass roof pieces, I think they're called. I don't even know. What I do to find the glass items is I go into the construction and I filter for, I think it is material. I think it's material, and you can filter for just glass items to have a look at everything that's glass. So I want to go through that to look for different curved pieces to turn into my tunnel. And I really like these. I like the pattern on them. I like the fact that I could change the colour so it wasn't stark white or black. I picked like this light bluey colour. I'm going for like a beachy vibe, so like yellows and blues, very holiday beach-like, even though the beach I'm sort of replicating, sort of, as in like just taking sort of inspiration from it, is Barry Island Beach. That's my favourite in Wales. If you're from the UK, you may know Barry Island from Gavin and Stacey, but Barry Island's never really a sunny beach. It's only a couple of days a year that you'll get that as a nice sunny beach. This is the fun with Planet Zoo, isn't it? It's not technically like a natural thing. You're the zookeeper and you're creating these man-made habitats to sort of replicate what the animals would have in the wild. And grey seals can live on rocky beaches, and they are in the UK. I don't think there's grey seals in Barry Island. But that's sort of what I was trying to replicate with this. The penguin one was my first try at a tunnel, and I had absolutely no idea how it would work. So I'm just learning each time I'm building one. I'm taking what kind of went wrong with the last one and trying to improve it in the next one. So this one's going to have a slightly wider path, but I'm still doing the same sort of style that is like kind of cave-like. I really like the cave-like entrance. Like there's a lot of man-made parts to the zoo, like all of the stairways and walkways from the entrance to the habitats. There's a lot of man-made like blue wood everywhere, so the rocks at the entrance of the habitats kind of hint to the fact that the guests are now going into like the natural habitat. So they go from the man-made walkways and then they know that they're going into a habitat because they've got like those natural rocks going around. And the next thing I wanted to do was build on these like rocks over on the edge of the habitat. I built up this like rocky cliffside area because Barry Beach is quite rocky, so I wanted like a little rocky aspect to it too. And then I thought I could try and make like rock pools with the terrain, and I really can, and I was so excited this actually worked. I had no idea it would, but I actually made rock pools. I was so excited because you go and you like nose at what's in the little rock pools, you find some crabs or whatever, like that's fun. So when you go to Barry Island you can rent these brightly coloured beach huts, and I thought they would be really nice for some shelter for my grey seals, and I just thought it'd be fun to have this really brightly coloured shelter building just to make it look a lot more beachy as well. I do have one little extra bit that I was really proud of to make it look more like a beach. I tried to mix the terrain, so we got two different textures of sand. Unfortunately I couldn't make it like grotty, so you could sort of go for the water pollution aspect of it, but I wanted this to look like these little beach huts, and I used the same construction as I've been using for all of the buildings around the zoo. So everything I use is pretty much base game and the aquatic pack. So I've made it the same colours as what the beach huts are in Barry Island, and the same colour variation. So the doors are different colours to the hut themselves, and the roofs have a colour on them too, except the tops of the real life beach huts are a different colour to the underneath, but I couldn't really do that on this. But I was really happy that I could change the colour of the roof tiles to just all one colour. It didn't have to be mixed. I was really happy with that. So this is the colour variations they have, is the green with the red door, blue with a yellow door, yellow with a green door, and red with a blue door. I checked whether the seals could get underneath those roofs. Why did that sound odd? I checked that, and the seals can get underneath and use that for hard shelter. And then I just wanted to put some extra little details in. So I noticed that the beach huts had their own numbers, so you could know which one to rent, I guess. So I put in separate numbers for the little huts, so each one of them is just 1 to 8. And if you do actually want these little beach huts, they might look nice with a lot of the aquatic animals. I will try and figure out how to put this blueprint up on Steam. If you do want them, just let me know. I wanted to do some like sun lounges, and I got these umbrellas, which are base game umbrellas you can recolor, and I wanted them to be the same color as the beach huts to match in quite nicely. And then I needed something that could be a towel, and this tapestry, I think it's in the Indian style. I think it's an Indian tapestry. Perfect. It was flat. It kind of looked like a patterned towel, and I thought it was great. I'm super proud of myself for like fiddling around with something to make it look like something else. I've done it in The Sims a lot because Sims is lacking in some aspects of like realism, but obviously you're not going to have something like a towel and a sun lounger for a zoo game, but I found something that looked almost fine. So yeah, that is it. This one might be a bit longer than some of the others. This beach did take me quite a while to do. I think it was 4 hours. And I don't like to speed my footage up more than 4 times speed because it kind of makes me feel a little motion sick, so I can't imagine what other people like to watch. Not that I'm like dissing on anyone who speeds it up anymore, I just don't like editing it that way. I can't watch it any faster. So this one might be a little bit longer because it took me a little bit longer to build. But that is pretty much it. I absolutely love these seals, and I love that they live on Barry Island now. The beach huts and the towels were my favourite thing. I just really love all of the bright colours. Let me know what part you liked in this. The rock pools. I forgot about the rock pools. I wish I could put little crabs in them. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, and if you haven't already and you would like to, it would mean a lot to me if you could subscribe and hit the bell to be notified whenever I upload a new video. I normally upload on Wednesdays and Saturdays, but that might be changing in the future, I'm not sure. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!